Yo, what's good, Facebook fam? You watch another episode of Boku no Enigma. I'm your host with the goddamn ghost, Zeus Alchemy in this bitch. Today, I want to talk about my last meditation. I'm call it the mass meditation. And I also decided, since this was a part of the equation, I would go ahead, because I wanted to do this video anyway, on goddamn the brother Panic Pack, the Herbs. Talking about this shit. I wanted to talk about this for a while, so I decided, fuck it, I'll put both videos together. And then I had to change my fucking glasses because I realized them bitches is crooked and can't have that, can we? Yeah. So, um, the meditation that I had during the new moon, right? Now, I had a lot of spiritual tools during that experience, but the panic pack, right now I bought two of them. I bought um, the regular herb pack, and then I bought the money pack. You know, and then I think you can go just search him on Google, his brother Panic, and you should be able to find his website. I think they're like $35. Um, but I had that in the equation during my meditation, and so overall, right? I'm gonna tell you about the pack first, right? And if you don't know who Brother Panic is, he's a legend as far as esoteric and occult knowledge goes. You know, niggas like him, Bobby Hemmett. You don't know about these people by now. I don't know what the fuck to tell you, but them niggas cold. Okay, they got a lot of wisdom, right? And so he made this herb pack, and he don't really tell you everything that's in it, but the whole gist of it is that the regular herb pack is supposed to help with decalcifying the pineal gland, opening up the third eye. And I've been fascinated with this shit since I was a kid. So whatever the fuck I could use, I'm fucking use it. So I fucking got the shit. And then the money pack is supposed to it's basically the same thing, but it's got I don't know, I dare say seasoning that it comes with, and that basically magnetizes the heart chakra to increase abundance, your attraction to abundance, right? And something like that. And so I got this shit maybe about the day before September. So I've had it for about a week now. And I've been smoking this shit since I got it. And he'll tell you himself that if time is a factor, not to buy this shit. And I see why. Because nigga, I ordered this shit in March. And it damn near was like 6 months. About 5 months. You know what I'm saying? That it took me to finally get it. But I'm glad that I got it. And I'm glad that I got it around now. Especially, with the whole energetic shift that a lot of people are experiencing since the start of September. It didn't just start with the new moon. The new moon just brought new energy. And so, um, the whole idea of, decalcifying the pineal gland, activating the pineal gland, you know what I'm saying? That was the reason why I initially bought, the package. Now, you know, I thought you may be seeing some shit, you'd be experiencing some shit, something like that. Like, I thought that it would heighten spiritual abilities. And, I'm glad to say that it does. It just doesn't do it the way that you might think it would. So, as I'm learning about the nature of spiritual gifts, like your clairs, your claircognizance, your clairsentience, your clairvoyance, all of that shit, telepathy, all of these different types of nuanced things. We use this shit all the time, but it's been so romanticized and so fantasized that the reality of how it works, or the actuality of how it works and how you would think it works, is just there's a difference between imagination and fantasy, right? And so, what I'm realizing is that, while some people can see, the nature of spiritual things, uh, you ever watch Hunter X Hunter, whatever you want to call it? You watch that shit, And there's a lot of interesting tidbits that shit drops. Right now, the beginning or the first arc of that shit, um, and you start dealing with the hunter exams. When they're in that jungle, you can understand the nuance and the nature of predators and prey, and how sophisticated and how nuanced it gets as your environment or your frequency changes, right? And then after that arc, you when they start getting into like the tower and shit, there's a couple arcs, but whatever arc it is where they start getting into that coliseum or that tower and shit like that, and they start unlocking the spiritual gifts and shit, the nin. And there's some deep shit, cause that nin shit is exactly how um, spiritual gifts work, and there was a nuance with the nin where the main characters, because there's two of them in that shit. This is what makes Hunter x Hunter interesting. It has two main characters, Gon and fucking Killia. These niggas start going through their nin training, and they have to because they can't enter the tower because of the spiritual pressure. Um, but while they're doing that and they're learning to practice their nin, they have the ability where they can see this energy. That's because that's what nin is, energy. They can see it. But another person that was in their crew, Kirapika, he couldn't see the shit. And even he had these special ass eyes and shit that glow. This nigga couldn't see that shit. But he could feel it. And so this is the nuance of how spirituality works. I think there's different aptitudes. It works differently for everybody. Some people are more prone to the visual, and then a lot more of us are more prone to the vibration. I dare say feeling. I hate to call it a feeling, but the vibrations of things. And so, whatever you fall on that alignment, I think you can activate all of it. But I think wherever you fall in alignment with that, that's just kind of what this thing heightens, this panic pack. And so, since the empathy or the ability of feeling or the vibrations or clear sentience, you know what I'm saying, or clear knowing, this is the type of shit that I've experienced. This shit heightens it, right? And so, the experience that I had with it during this meditation, during the new moon on Labor Day, I was meditating with this Ghost of Tsushima mask, right? This Oni mask. And, the reason why I got it, there's two reasons why I got it. One, because the whole idea of wearing a mask is stupid, but the other thing was for spiritual purposes. I understood on a certain level what the Oni represented. The Oni was like, this demonic figure in Japanese lore. But the interesting thing about the Oni was that although it was demonic, ogre-like, they were very protective. And so the energy of that, of just being more spiritually protected, that's what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? The idea was, whether I was wearing it outside to just move out amongst people or I was wearing it at home, I was protecting myself spiritually. And so during the new moon, amidst all of the other spiritual tools that I use, I added that panic pack to my repertoire. And so, all of this is as a means of opening the conscious mind up to more effectively communicate with the subconscious mind. There's a book you can read. It's called Alchemically Stoned. You can find it on Amazon. That book is very hard to read. Some people, they like to use a lot of big words and a lot of like terminology and shit like that, and that can make it very hard for a lot of different people to read. But that's something that kind of gets into psychedelics and psilocybins and I forgot the fancy word they call it, but just the whole nature of how these things. And again, it's very Crowley in its approach, but honestly, I think it's just different strokes for different folks. I like using shit. I've always been a gadget guy. So whether it's tech, whether it's spiritual, whether it's practical, I like tools. And so during the meditation, as I was smoking the herb pack, well, before I went into my meditation, I added that herb pack. And as I meditated, with all the different things that I had going on, I had crystals, shrooms, weed, panic pack, I got subliminals, I got, what do they call it? I forgot what they call the goddamn tones. It's not asymmetric, it's fucking, I forgot what they call them. Binario beats. So I had a bunch of those going. And then I had a little DJ player that I could kind of mix and cut and kind of have different things playing. And so, I had a lot of different things going on. Had everything sage, incense. I got my whole setup going. And, as I was meditating, I had a crystal in each hand. These two right here, right? My raw citrine that I just got, and my fucking Or Light 23, the Dr. Pepper shit. I had both of those in each hand. And I had some glasses on, to kind of help her light. And then I had mask on whole time, right? And as I got deeper and deeper, and one of the best things about the Panic Pack, and you'll find it if you ever try to find reviews. I've tried to find reviews, and I haven't found one that I like. But one thing that it is very good at, one thing that I found common amongst the reviews that I've seen and amongst my experience with the pack, is that it does make getting into a meditative state, a deep meditative state, that much easier. It's like a fucking Thanos stab. It doesn't take long at all. Like once you finally really relax, it helps smooth everything over, right? And there's a lot of different things, that a lot of different other herbs that do that, but it's a good pack. You should get it. And so, as I was in a meditation, my nigga, I swear to Allah, I swear to whoever, I don't care. Look, when I tell you, I felt the energy in this fucking mask. Not just in the mask. I felt the energy in all kinds of stuff. But because I have ADHD, it's kind of like I like that. I like being able to jump in and out of shit. And so, one thing that I really couldn't ignore was the fucking mask. Like when I tell you during my meditation, my face was moving uncontrollably. It almost felt as if it was shaping into what these teeth look like. So literally my face, my teeth were just, I swear. And I was just kind of like, I wasn't really freaked out by it because I've had a lot of meditations now. And I've had a lot of different experiences where, I did just have an experience, you know what I'm saying, is enough for me to kind of be like, okay. Plus, after enough meditation, you learn not to react and not to jump at certain shit. And so, I just kind of experienced it. But I felt my face morphing, grinding and chewing and becoming a lot more menacing. It felt very much like how this looked, right? Next thing I experienced is, as I was meditating, I allowed my thoughts to just wander. And as I experienced the energy of the new moon and just kind of practically thinking about how best to assist my tribe, my family, my people, the world, myself, most fundamentally first, right? Like, how do I do everything? What do I do? A common reoccurring thought and theme in my head was protecting and providing. And just being ready to do whatever it was that I felt like I needed to do in order for what I cared about most, what I loved most, to be okay. So I was going through this interesting polarity of very deep passion and love and protection and provisions and providing. Yet at the same time, I was ready to cut I was ready to go to war with it. I'm talking about I was ready to cut this shit. I'm ready. I was thinking about all kind of shit that can happen where I'm just getting up out the bed, grab the strap, I'm up, what's up? What you doing in here? Like I just think about all kind of shit, and I just remembered a lot of my thoughts going from wrath to love and protection, and then back to wrath, and into love and protection, and back into wrath and love and protection, and all the while my face was fucking morphing, and I was like, "Oh shit, I really am a shaman." I was just saying that shit. I didn't know it was true, but you know. And then all the while too, I had an interesting thought that my Sifu taught me. The actor, the mask the actor wears will soon become his face. It was something that I frequently thought about a lot too. And so, you know, the thing about psychedelics and the pack and tobacco and alcohol and, you know, all these different types of things, this shit opens you up. And so, you know, if you really know what the fuck you're doing, or you're just doing this shit just to have fun, shit could go, it could be whatever, and you never really want that. And so, you know, I at this point where I'm really not afraid of nothing no more. So I just kind of do whatever because I don't really have nothing else to lose no more. And so I had that whole experience. Right now, the reason why I know the goddamn panic pack and just my overall practice improved because of it is because, you know, I listen to people that are wild. Right? So when motherfuckers tell me to get some shit, I fucking get it. Alright? And so, you know what I got? Motherfuckers kept saying, grab this goddamn encyclopedia of spirits. Motherfuckers kept telling me, grab this. Conjure Queen, Brother Panic, a lot of motherfuckers grab this shit, right? So I grab it. And before I did the first video about the new moon, right, I decided, I was like, I need to look into what this book says about the Oni. And when I read it, I started laughing because I realized, yeah, tapping into some shit. Spirituality is real. The veil is thin, and shit is finna get wicked, right? So look at what the Encyclopedia of Spirits, and this is by fucking Judica Ilias. I don't know, but look it up. I got it on Amazon. When it goes into the Oni, right, on page 793, the origin of the Oni is in Japan. And Oni are ranchers, I don't know how you say that shit, defying spirits of chaos and mischief. They can cause trouble for people, but may also be protective. Some can be persuaded to become allies. Oni frequently enjoy a battle, so they may banish and disperse evil spirits and ghosts just for the fun of it, even without being asked. Right? What the fuck? Because I swear to God, that was everything I experienced in that first paragraph. Oni is frequently translated in English as devil or ogre, emphasizing their scary, destructive aspects. However, unlike classic European ogres, Oni are not stupid or slow, but very smart, and thus formidable opponents with magical supernatural powers. Allegedly, if an Oni loses a limb, it reconnects and heals instantly. Another reason why they so enjoy brawling. You sound like a motherfucking Piccolo. Oni are spirits of justice who destroy as well as protect. And I swear, that's what it was, dude. It was those two energies, destroying and protecting. Destroying and protecting. That's all the fuck I felt, and I was fucking ready, my nigga. They are often portrayed as vicious, malevolent, ominous demons, up to no good, and are featured in many horror tales. Allegedly, some enjoy the taste of human flesh. This legend of the human-eating Oni may derive from their origins as spirits of death. Oni are pre-Buddhist spirits. They are originally both male and female. Oni, who supervise the frontier between life and death. It said the disappearance of female Oni may account for some of the male Oni's frame crankiness. I didn't want to read that, but I had to. Oni were incorporated into Buddhism, becoming gate guardians of the various Buddhist hells and death realms. Their role now includes punishing sinners, although spirits of death are rarely popular. Oni were perceived as fulfilling a spiritual function. Although considered dangerous, they were not evil and could not serve as guardian spirits, or and could serve as guardian spirits if so inclined. The demonstration of Oni began during the Kamakura era, which is 1185 to 1333 CE, with the rise of the new samurai class. This is a 333 in that bitch. God damn it. Brawling Oni involved into enemies of the samurai. A frequent theme of legends involves samurais foiling evil Oni. And that's like Omimisha, right? Or Ghost of Tsushima. And then Oni became increasingly masculine and malevolent. True female Oni became rare. The Haniya, right? And that's what that mask is. That's what it's called, the Haniya. A horned female spirit evolved into the Oni's female counterpart. And so, just reading that and then experiencing the type of meditation that I had and the nuance of effects that I had as I continued to open myself up to these different energies on top of this fucking panic pack, I'm gonna tell you, if you're really, if you're wanting to just overall increase your abilities, if this is really a calling to you, because you gotta understand too that like a lot of this shit, I personally, I didn't ask for none of this shit. I didn't ask to be spiritual. I didn't ask to, adore crystals. I didn't ask to, not that I remember at least. I didn't ask for this stuff. So, a lot of things, like Rumi said, the great Sufi, what you seek seeks you. And a lot of this stuff, it finds you. That's what a calling is. And so, if this is an aspect of spirituality that you're called to, I advise you get that fucking pack. And also, just the overall spirituality of a mask. I see why they say the mask the actor wears soon becomes his face. And you get into the whole like comic book of the mask, where that must be where that comes from and why we've always had them. Why we've always worn them. So, hey, I hope you learned something today. I definitely enjoyed breaking all of this stuff down to you and telling you about my experience with my meditation, with my mask, and with these herbs that I got from Brother Panic. Great lecturer, probably put you to sleep, but you will learn some shit. He can condense a lot of information in about 5 or 6 hours. So, hey, man, y'all be smooth. Peace and love. And I hope you're good on your manifestations.